Hey guys, it's Om here back with another video. And in my last two videos, of my PC build series, I focused on cheap uh mid-ranged PCs, which uh are meant to play games. And I personally think that I've done well on that. So now I'm gonna make another two videos, this and another video focusing on the high end. This is gonna be $1,000. It's actually nine, and if you guys watch my other videos, I live in Canada, so it's Canadian dollars. Canadian dollars has a lower value, so I converted it and it's $968. I don't know what I'm gonna decide for the title. That's future decision. So now what we're gonna do is I completely lost my train of thought. So this and another video, I don't know what my budget is gonna be for the next one. But this is $1,000, and it's like this PC is meant to crush all games at 60 FPS or higher. It is meant to do that, even on high settings, like maybe ultra on certain things. Like this is meant to crush those games. And okay, so for the processor, the talked about i7-6700K, codename Skylink. I forget what this was. I don't know why I'm acting like this, but uh, it was 3.9 gigahertz, I think, or 4 gigahertz, and it's a quad core. No, is it a quad core? Wait, whatever it is, I know that this is a good CPU. I used to know what it was, and now I forgot. So let's move on. So for RAM, we're gonna be using 16 gigabytes of Corsair Vengeance DDR3 1600 megahertz. This used to be a hefty $300. Now they lowered it, and I'm a fan of this. I've been using it for my last build. So let's head on with this one. So for our hard drive, we're gonna be using 3 terabytes. We're gonna have a 3 terabyte hard drive at 6 gigabytes a second. SATA, whatever. 7200 RPM, etc. This should be able to store like literally everything that you're gonna need. I know I'm not a fan of Seagate Barracuda, but I couldn't reject this software. You just can't reject 3 terabytes for $100. So for the case, we're going to be using this very cool, dope looking NZXT case. I know it isn't like there's no glass or anything. Like I haven't done that in my past builds, and you're like, no, I'm doing glass. Sure, can use the LED things. But I'm like, but like you're gonna see all the wires and stuff. So okay, whatever. We're just gonna be using this. It was cheap. The other one was like $200 for the glass and the next gen NZXT stuff. So I thought this simple, white, simplistic, modern look, I liked it. So I put it on. So for the motherboard, we're going to be using an Asus P8H61, as I mentioned in my first video this series. This Asus is really good at making certain products. This is one of them. As you can see, it's 4.5 star rated. Thumbs up, Asus. Cheap, and it supports Skylink. So to cool this bad boy, we're going to be using a Arctic Freezer 7 Pro Rev 2. This is the CPU cooler that I used for my last video. It's $20 still, and I'm like, when I was going through, I'm like, okay, I still like this. Like, this is still a good deal. I could just use this. And I'm like, okay, it's cheap and stuff. And I know I'm not supposed to be looking for cheap, but so we actually have two GPUs, both different ones. So our first GPU, this is the better one, is a GT740, and I know this is a bit on the lower end, but it has 4 gigabytes of GDDR5, which is like outstanding for the price, and I think this would be a solid choice. And next, for a second GPU, we're gonna be we're gonna be using a GT 730, 740, 730. This has 2 gigabytes of GDDR5, and so 6 gigabytes of GDDR5 in total. So that should be able to crush most games. I don't think you're gonna be outdoing that. So for the power supply, we're gonna be using a 500 watt EVGA power supply. I think this should be enough. I don't think you guys are gonna be crushing it way over 500 watts. If you think you will, I recommend going higher. If you think you're not, you could save $4 and just go for 430 watt. But I'd stick with the 500 watt. And it's $4 more, and you get a way better performance out of it. Like, well, 70 watts more, more electrical bill. But so to cool this, to cool this build, we're gonna be using Corsair Air Series AF120 LED Quiet Edition higher flow fan twin pack. This is two of these things. They're both LED, I think, and it should be able to cool the entire computer. So yeah, that's the end of this build. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you like this video, put like it. If you really liked it, subscribe. If you didn't like it, you can go watch other videos. If you don't like those, man, I'm getting deep at this. Don't like those, you can go ahead, watch somebody else's video. Try not to dislike. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.